Alrighty, how's everybody doing? Decided to do a thing on the 2600. I just wanted to put a few of the games that I really liked when I had the 2600. Pretty much one of them sealed the deal on me getting one, and then a couple of these other ones I got not too long afterwards, and I made me happy that I bought the 2600. Well, I should say my parents bought it because I didn't. Let's see. I got to make sure. I still haven't got the kinks worked out all the way. I got to get to where my chat is where it should be. Um, for some reason, I have to use the chat on the pop out chat on the YouTube app itself. Which let me see. That just popped and disappeared. Okay, there it is. Alrighty. That way I can at least see if somebody comes in or what have you. Alrighty, the first game. This is uh, probably, I think Adventure was my second game I got, or it might have actually been one of the first games I got because one of the games that I'll be playing afterwards um, is the one that I begged my parents to buy the 2600 for. And then this game, though, I think they got me a couple of games, and this was one of them. And then there will be another one that was also picked up around that same time. So if it wasn't picked up the same day, it was within days of getting it. But Adventure to me was it. It was the game that I really showed me what video games could be. It was, it's a simple game. It's the graphics are not. Hey, how's it going, Jeff? The graphics aren't amazing. They're pretty, yeah. That's Space Invaders is mine as well, and I think didn't Combat come with it, or it was Space Invaders. I can't remember, but all I know is when I had seen that Space Invaders was coming out, I begged and begged and begged my mom and dad to, that mostly my mom because I knew she was the one that was going to determine if I got it. But I told her I was like, oh mom, if you get Space Invaders, I won't be spending so much money in the arcade, and it'll save us money, or at least save me money, or save them having to give me money. And yeah, it was just it didn't stop me from going to the arcade. I still continue to go to the arcade, but it was the one that I was telling them would save me from having to go to the arcade as much. Um, it just I wanted it that bad, um, and we did get it, and I had many years with it. So, but yeah, but Adventure, it was the game that when I seen it I thought, well, geez, video games are going to be amazing. It's because even though the graphics were simple, it told a story, and it lets you. It was just like reading a book. It just your mind, put everything else into it, and so I just seen the potential of what video games could be based on Atari. Even back in that earlier time, it was like, man, the adventures that you could go on can be amazing, which turned out later on when you look at games, like Fallout or Elder Scrolls or stuff like that. It's amazing the stories that we can tell now in video games, or at least they could tell, we could play, which is fantastic. But let me go ahead and get kicking this game out here. Let's see. Oh, I was like, where did I put my joystick? It's right over there. All right. Let's see. We'll select number 3, which is the hardest. And let's get this baby started. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not amazing. It's you're a block, but you got to come out and look for. You have the 3 castles. You have the yellow castle, the white castle, and the black castle. You have to find keys for each of them. The yellow castle, of course, is where you got to head to. That's where you take the chalice that ends the game. But the chalice is in either the black or the white castle, depending. And there's different things you might need to get into them to get to it. Especially with the white castle, because there's a barrier that you need the bridge to get across. And as you've seen there was one of the ducks right there. They're dragons. That's the red dragon. There's a green dragon. There's a yellow dragon. And let's see. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting through here. I guess because I'm talking. All right, there we go. All right, there's that bridge I was talking about. We'll just leave it here because we don't need it right yet. I don't know if we're going to... Right now, the bat's hanging around with the red dragon around the white one. And that the red dragon always watch. There's the green one. The white red dragon always watches the white key. And as you can see, the green dragon, he'll do the black key. He does the magnet. He does the bridge. We're just going to have to try to trick by him. That's true. You can get that White Castle jump. All right, there's the magnet. Okay, so there's the yellow key, which is how we'll get into the yellow castle. But we'll have to look over here. Okay, there's the chalice. Okay, and the yellow dragon is watching it. So what we're going to come do is get this here. And we're going to jab them. Doesn't matter how you carry it, just as long as you touch him with it. Now, actually, it must be the difficulty switch must be on because, as you've seen, he ran. So, let me see if I can flick them back here. Find out which one actually works. Okay. That wasn't the right one, so it must be this other one here. Okay, there's that one. Where's the other one? I know there's two of them. I can't feel it. Might have to look at it. Yeah, I might have to look at it, unfortunately. I can't feel where the other one's at. Okay, there's the one. There's the power. Oh, wait a minute. That was, I did the channel. Is that the channel thing? I can't think. So where in the hell is the select at? Oh, good Lord. While I'm doing that, Copilot's kicking up for some reason. Must have hit a button somewhere. There's the power. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? It's up in the front. What am I thinking of? Don't pay attention to me. I'm not all familiar with the 7800. I'm more familiar with the 2600 for this, but okay, we should be all right now. Okay. Now I lost YouTube. I don't know how the hell that happened. Okay, there's YouTube again. Good Lord. If ain't one thing, it's another. All right. Pop that out. Okay, there we go. Back again. Okay. All right. Now I gotta see what if he went back there. Okay, yeah. So now it doesn't scare him. And oh, geez, I got 8. The problem with, because of the limitations of the hardware, what happened there is I couldn't stab them because there's something that's inside there besides the chalice and the sword, and it makes it blink enough where sometimes you can't stab one of the dragons. Too many items causes a lot of blinkage. That's just a limitation of the 2600. So let's go back up here, grab this. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what that brought over. I can't remember the order of how things are grabbed. Apparently it was the sword. Okay. We're going to have to get the chalice over. Alright, and then what we can do is go like that, grab the chalice, pull it down here, take this up here. He should still be up here somewhere, and it should be easier to stab him. There we go. So he's dead. I didn't really need to go through all that, but he kind of pissed me off, so I just wanted to kill him. Let's bring the sword all the way back over here. Now, usually what I'll do is just run through here and kill everything to get them out of the way, because I don't need them. But plus, I need to go get the bridge, because I was going to show you the one thing about Adventure 2 was it had the first Easter egg. And this was back in a time where, there wasn't, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have a lot of stuff that told us about these Easter eggs in some of the games. You just kind of found them. And I had found the, when I had found the Easter egg in this game, when I show you what it is, it was just, it was more because I used to be pretty obsessive about certain things, of like I had to have everything, or so there was a trick when you see this, it makes this flashing across the screen, and it drove me nuts. I was like, why in the hell is this thing, why is it flashing in here? Because it had to take, you had to have two objects together to cause flashing, and it would just be the one object I had, but it would flash. And that didn't make any sense to me, because I'm like, well, you have to have two objects. Why is this, one object causing there to be a flash in there? And that's how I figured out that there was something in there. And I looked everywhere, and was trying. And the thing I could only think of, was the magnet, but nothing would get brought over to me. So I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing that the magnet could grab of. So the next thing I grabbed was the bridge. And I started using the bridge all over there trying to find this thing. And finally I found it. And we'll get to the spot where it's at. I don't think it's here, is it? No. It's a little room. I just got to remember where the little room's at. No, it's not there either. Oop, I lost the thing. And I got to grab it again. All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had put the bridge down a little bit too close to the edge of the wall there, so it just kind of was disappeared where I couldn't grab a hold of it. All right. Now let me go, because my recollection is it's like right around here. I just can't remember exactly where it's at. I don't think it's up above me. Pretty bad when you can't remember where it's at. I mean, it's easy to find once you go into it because it's just a cubicle of a room. It's not there either. Okay, I don't think it's anywhere there. Gotta make sure you can see it on both ends. No, it's not there either. This is, I think, one we already tried. One of them things I can never find. I mean, I can always find the room when I don't need it, but when I need it for some reason, I'm booking around trying to find it. Okay, it's not there. Go up a little bit like this. Is this it? Okay, yeah. Now, okay, it's around here now. If you notice, it's just I have one object. I have the bridge, and it's blinking. So that tells me the room's right in here. And that might be that room down there. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, that might be it. All right, we'll see. Oh, that's not going to do me any good right there. All right, let's move it over a little bit like this. Okay, I just picked it up. Now there it is. It's a dot. And that's hence the reason why it's blinking with only two objects in there is because that dot, with one object is because that dot makes the second object. So you take this dot, I usually like to put it like this, and then you run it all the way down here and jam it through the wall. It'll be on the other side now. Now what I usually do is, it's usually overkill because you don't need everything, but I'll grab most of this stuff here and I'll show you how you can do multiple. Okay, got that. Put that like that. All right, you grab all these, put them like this, and you can run them all together. Because you can only carry one object at a time. This makes it so you can actually do multiple objects. Okay, now you grab the key, shove it through the wall. Grab the chalice, shove it through the wall. Grab the magnet, take it with you. When you get over here, you'll have the wall blinking like nuts. And you can go through the wall. This was the first Easter egg. It's created by Warren Robinette. And I remember when I found this, and it was a big deal. Because, like I said, we didn't have anything like this. Plus, in my little kid head, I'm like, man, I must be the first one that's ever found this. Now, I guess it'd be kind of hard to tell who was the first one because, unless you had somebody take the time to write down the time and the date and that when they did discovered it. So, but like I said, I didn't hear this from anybody. There was no books out or any internet or anything that told you this existed. This is just something how I found it, and so to me, yeah, I was a kid. I was that was the shit. I was the man, but you grab the chalice and run her up here. Oh, first we got to open up the thing. I forgot to grab the other key. Yeah, I can remember clear as day how I found it. I remember, like I said, I just, the thing is that always stuck in my head was because I was so anal at that time about games and certain things, just that blinking alone is what drove me nuts. I couldn't figure out why in the hell one object was causing it to blink. And that's what started the whole thing of searching for it. There you go. You finished the game. Now, there's other levels, but they're simpler. This one randomly changes stuff around. But like I said, you had the difficulties thing where it's like, I think they're faster on one of them, and then the other one is the sword scares them away. And so they're always there, but, if you don't, if you don't have the sword, if you have the sword with you, they run away all over the place. But if they don't, then they'll come after you. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a simple game, but it was fun at that time. And to me, it's still fun. I still enjoy this game. So, anyways, that's one of them. And then I'm checking it because I got a multi-card here. Let's see what else is on here. Okay, yeah, no, there's a couple. There's one, two, three. There's three other ones that I like that are on here, but they're not the ones I wanted to get right now. That's going to be a cart that I got in here, and here it is. The number one reason that I got the Atari 2600 was Space Invaders, and that's this game here. It was popular at the arcade at the time. I was dropping quarters left and right, just like most kids at that time was. My camera just went crazy. Have to get it back on track here. I don't know why it all of a sudden went nuts. Let's see. Okay, there it is. It has the camera has AI tracking, so for some reason it just jumped off. Hey, Lone, how you doing, buddy? No, that's cool, man. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I appreciate you just stopping in. All right, so the 2600 version of Space Invaders was the first arcade game to the system, a big arcade game to the system, and the driving force of the Atari 2600 becoming as the game system that it was. It was selling, but it wasn't selling really good until this game came out. Anyways, let's get this ball rolling here. Oh, we're going to have to kick one of these difficulties down. All right. If you notice, my difficulty was my ship is, my ship is huge. All right. There we go. We don't need that. We don't need no big ships. All right, let's start the game over. Sorry, I'm restoring my chat because for some reason that jumped out. What the hell? One problem after another, I tell you. Okay. We got that. I'm not sure what would happen to this now. All right, there we go. Okay, Jesus. Jump through hoops to get anything to work. Oh yeah, the same way, Jeff. I remember getting this and just it was everything I hoped for when I got this system. And that's I think I pointed out before. The thing about games back in the day here wasn't high scores. It was scoring was important, but it wasn't the driving force. It was just how far you can get into in the game, along with the score. So if you look at the scoring system on here, it's not very high. That's not where your reward came from. It was just how many levels you could go. And then, scoring started becoming bigger later, hence the reason why games started having high scores, where, you get, 100,000s and stuff like that. Here, you were lucky to break, in 1,000, and then, to get into like a 10,000 score, man, that's crazy. But there's like tons of variations to this, because that was also Atari's big thing was different variations of a game. You have carts that would have hundreds of variations, just like little tweaks they did to the game, and the same thing with this. I forget how many variations. Was it 66? There's for some reason I keep remembering that number, but. It just, there was just different things they did to make the game a little bit more difficult or what have you for you. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, there's a thing in here where you can get a double shot trick to it. Oop, missed it. Oh, geez, I forgot. That's the thing. That's the thing I always forget on here is where it's at on level wise, and I get squished. Yeah, the invisible aliens and that. Yeah, that was one of the levels. Isn't there one I think too where these barriers ain't on there and? That's why with Atari, these Space Invaders is always good to knock the ends off of it, shorten it up, and also knock them down like that so you don't get squished. Is it 112, Jeff? Yeah. I know it had a ridiculous amount of variations. Yeah, I think it was more Atari just making you think you had a lot of bang for your buck. In your kid head, you would think, oh man, there's 116 games in this? Oops. Oh crap. That was horrible. Oh, that was terrible too. Oh, I might get squished. Right, I knew it. All right, so yeah, that's Space Invaders. Like I said, that was one of the driving forces behind getting this system. Um, the next game was not too long after I got Adventure. I got this game, and this was not. I wasn't pushing for this game any more than any of the other games. It was just that I had seen it, and I thought, oh, and I'd like to have that. So I picked it up, and actually, what the hell did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. The game is Superman. Okay. That was, like I said, I got it around the same time I got the Space Invaders and the Adventure. I couldn't tell you exact timing of it, but it was around that time. And it was a game, like I said, I didn't push for it, as hard as Space Invaders or anything like that. It was Superman, and I thought, well, I'd like to have a Superman game, and that's just basically what it was. Okay. Let's get the joystick out here. This is another, simple kind of game, but it was fun to play. The whole premise is you're Superman, you become Clark Kent, you walk over here to go to Daily Planet. Man, somebody blew the damn bridge up. There Luthor goes, and you see his henchmen take off. There's Lois with the helicopter. A couple other henchmen, so you become Superman. Go to your phone booth. Ba-doo. Now you can fly. Now, one of the tricks of this game is, if you hold the button in, you can look around in the different directions, and you have X-ray vision. Now, see that thing over there is a satellite, or kryptonite or something. I think it's kryptonite is what they call it. But if you touch it, you become Clark Kent. And then you have to go back to the phone booth, you have to find Lois. And Lois turns you back into Superman. All right, since we're right by the prison and we see this guy, we'll pick him up and take him into prison. Now, there's part of that bridge we're looking for. Just come over, drop it down. I think the bridge is in 3 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. There's another piece of it. Oh, there's Luthor himself. So you grab Luthor. Boom, Luthor's in prison. Where he belongs, because he's a dirty snake. Alright, oh. Oh. There's Lois. Oh, jeez. I popped out and then another guy came in there. Oh, we don't want that. All right, put him in there. Oh, just drop down, and we got a him. We got one more guy we got to arrest, and we still have another bridge piece we have to get. Uh-oh. Stay away from that damn thing. If I'm not mistaken... Okay. Luckily, we got him before the kryptonite touched us. Oh, it did touch me. So here comes Lois. She made it so we can fly again. Oh, there's part of the bridge. So now we got the three pieces, the bridges together. We still have to find... Hey, Papa Pete. Still got to find that other crook. He's right there. All right, got that. Bridge is built. Come in here. We come Clark Kent again. Happy Thanksgiving, Papa Pete. And there you go. End of the game. We walked into the Day of the Planet. So, like I said, simple game. But, I mean, lots to do. And, you know, the difficulty can depend on... sometimes, I mean, it'll piss you off with them kryptonite satellites running around hitting you all the time. But like I said, this, again, besides Adventure, this is another game that showed me the potential of the 2600 and what, or potential of video games. I love this game. Used to play the hell out of it. And, I still do. I still occasionally pick it up just like I do Adventure. I have Adventure and on different systems. I have it on the Switch and that, and I play it on there. Superman this is the only place I have it, unless I do emulation, and so I'm glad for that because I really enjoy it. So let's go from there. That's 3 down so far, and then. Just noticing the cart that I got for Space Invaders is a little shaky. All right, so we had, I'm getting a multi-card out because this also has another game that I used to like playing. Well, actually, it's got 1, 2, 3 on it. But one of the other ones I liked was Haunted House. So we're going to do the Haunted House. And you have these... flip switches back here that you have to hit. Hopefully I hit it right. We'll find out here in a minute. Oh yeah. Yeah, Pete knows. Pete knows how good Superman is. No, that's combat. So that means I hit the dip switches wrong. Which I always do. So let's, because also the weird thing about the dip switches is they're upside down from the label you're looking at. So that's usually what gets me. So let's try this again. All right, so there's that. There's that. No, that's I'm using that 10-in-1 cart, Pete, that they sent with the 2600 with the dip switches on it. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but the chart is different. It's upside down from what you're looking at. So sometimes it messes me up when I'm going up through there. I just have it opposite of what it's supposed to be. All right, here's Haunted House. Haunted House came out later in the 2600, and I enjoyed it. I think what I enjoyed about it too was it kind of reminded me of Venture. Not exactly, but it kind of. And the guy had. I don't know. I don't want to tease anybody by playing basic math on there. All right. Now I can't remember the levels on that, so there's only so many. I would go one. I mean, we're just showing the game off, anyways. All right. Now this is what I like too. You can hear his little footsteps when he's running around. You got little rolly eyes. Yeah, it's small. It's uh-oh. Now see that ghost just got you. You want to stay away from him. If I'm not mistaken, when the ghosts hit you, if you're holding objects, they disappear. Like spreads them back out. I guess I should explain too what's going on here. You're hearing me go up and down stairs. If you see this light here, when I hit the light, you can see that it goes from small to large, like you're going upstairs. Here, there's nothing, so there's no stairs. Sometimes off the side there'll be stairs, but there isn't none here. None here. Right here. Same thing. Small to large, you're going upstairs. So you're going up to the second floor. Now, the light helps you find the objects that are in here, which is mostly like the scepter and that, or is it the vase you build? But it's you can only see it with the light on. But also, like in later levels, it's dark, so it helps you see. That's just terrible. Alright, so I don't see anything there. Now we know the ghost is here because he just got us. So he's up on this floor. There he is. Wait till he goes out. Ah. Dum dum dum. I heard the guy coming. I don't even know why I did that. Okay, now we're on the fourth floor. Now we just got... Is that the scepter? Which I think scares him away. But you can only carry one thing at a time. So what we want is these other pieces. And we'll get one more. There it is. Now we just made it. Made the vase or the urn, I think it is. And put it together. So we got to take it back down to the... first floor and go out, and we won. Yeah, the new haunted house is pretty slick. The reimagined one on the Atari 50th collection. Yeah, it was great. It was a nice addition to it. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and select another. We'll go 3. I don't know. I can't remember what 3 does, but it'll add more than what we had. Okay, so it's dark in here. We got a key, which is good for doors. And so you can push the button and drop it if you need to. All right. That's the scepter that scares them away. stairs. Now what you're doing too is, okay, there's part of that urn. So we know there's a piece there. Now if you notice now, because we went up on the level, oh, get the hell away from him. I don't see anything else here. So we know on the second floor we have an urn piece. We're up there because the spider was coming after us. Okay. Now, it's not what I wanted, but you know, what are you going to do? Well, we're still on the third floor. All right. We're looking for some more urn pieces. There's one there. Okay, so we have one on the second, one on the third. Oh, we're going to go to the fourth, but there was the ghost there. Uh-oh. The bat got us, but it was just the bat, better than the ghost. All right, so there has to be another piece up here because we already found two pieces. Unless we missed it in one of the other ones, which is always possible. Okay, there it is. So we know we got that one. Oh. All right, we just got that piece. Oh, no, we didn't want that. We went up the... Okay, that key would have helped on that door there, but we don't have the key with us, so same thing with that. Yeah, see, that goes up. So we want to come down here. Yeah, we have to go a different way because all them doors were locked. All right. Oh. There's nothing there. Now this is where you have to be careful because the ghosts will make you, they'll scatter everything around, so you don't want it. Okay, this goes down, which is what we want. All right. All right, the second floor was where the other piece was at, so we have to find it. Which we can't do there because the door is locked. Oh, there comes the ghost, and... Oh, actually, he doesn't spread your urn. I thought he took your urn, but must have been wrong about that. That's cool. All right, we go down here. Oh, what the hell? Getting hit by everything. There it is. I was going to say, I know it was pretty close to here. All right, so we got to go down to the first floor. Can't go that way. That goes up. We don't want that. Christ, there's the bat. Gonna try to outrun him. This goes down, so... Ah, when the ghost is right there. Let's see how he couldn't hurt you when you had that. Okay. So, picking it up by accident actually did us a favor. Alright, I was going to say, it should be the exit. So, we were able to enter out there. And that's what it is. It just, you know, see you later, Pete. So we were able to get through there. But, there's the different difficulties. They just make it harder. There's different things that happen to it. All right, so we'll go from there. That's Haunted House. The next one on here that I liked was Missile Command. This should be exciting because hopefully we hit the dip switch right. Okay, this should be it. Missile Command was the next. I take that back. The next arcade game I got for it was Asteroids. And then I had Missile Command. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Asteroids. I mean, I had it. I bought it. But some of these are pretty good representations of the arcade games. Space Invader was fantastic. Missile Command's fantastic. Centipede, stuff like that. Asteroid, to me, wasn't a real representation of the arcade game. And I don't know if that was more because of the vector graphics, which, if that's what it was, in my kid head, that was kind of a shame because, I mean, they couldn't achieve that anyways with that kind of hardware at that time. But I know one part of it was just the way the asteroids moved. Because, in the arcade, the asteroids were randomly moving around, where in the home version, it was on it was a vertical up and down. And I didn't like that because that's not what I was used to. But this is a pretty good controlling game. I mean, in the arcade, it was a trackball. Of course, here you're using the stick, but it moves good. It's responsive. It's just this is one of them games is either you liked it or you didn't. There was a lot of people that weren't big fans of Missile Command. I loved it. I was always a big fan of it. I liked the arcade the most because you used to have the 3 fire buttons on there, for the different towers. Oh, that sucked. Yeah, to me, Jeff, it just took me out of it. It wasn't enough like the arcade game, for me to get into it. So, yeah, that was mine. Was the asteroids. Yeah, Asteroid in the arcade game, the asteroids were all over the place. You broke them up. You never knew what their trajectory was going to be, but yeah, it was just too. It was too. I don't know, just too vanilla, I guess, for the home version. Yeah, that too. Well, that's what, I was talking about yesterday. Was one of the things I didn't like about the the 7800 version of Asteroids is I remember waiting to see that version of it. Boy, I'm really sucking right now. And then disappointed because all it was just a little, more depth to it, but they were colored asteroids like the other one was. That's why that Asteroids Deluxe they brought out, it was nifty because it had the as much of a representation of vector graphics they could do. But yeah, it reminded me more of the arcade. Yeah, because unless you're that's the thing too is I would have to say in a lot of ways the controller on the 2600 using the stick is a better way of doing this than the trackball was. I'm sure different people have different feelings on that, but the trackball was not my favorite part of that game. The buttons for the different shooting stances was, but yeah, I like the trackball and for like Centipede and that. Enjoyed it for Bentley Bear, Crystal Castle, stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it for Missile Command. I get more accuracy out of this than I did that. Oops. I tried to be snazzy and didn't work. Oh. I shot my load real quick and messed myself up. Unless I get over, which I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah, I'm out. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. That's how you knew you were getting messed up. All right, then let's see. The other game I liked on here was Yards of Revenge. See, Yars is yeah, back in the day, Yars' Revenge was a big game when it came out. It was pretty popular. I don't know if I'm not mistaken. Is it the top-selling game? I can't remember. Oh, that's volleyball. That's not a top-selling game. Volleyball sucks. All right. So I got Real Sports Volleyball. Oh, okay. Well, I really janked that one up. Okay. That's this. This should be. This should be Yards of Revenge here. There we go. Yards of Revenge. I think one of the coolest thing about it was this was an original and not based on an arcade game, but it was arcade-like, and was a fun game. Yeah, it's pretty unique to what was out there at the time. Oh, jeez. That was horrible, too. No, 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 no. Okay. Boy, I'm horrible at this. What am I doing? Hadn't been that long since I played the game. Good Lord, my aim is horrible in this. I was going to try to shoot that out of there, but that didn't work either. There we go. I was going to say, boy, what am I going to do? Shoot forever? Oh, hey, Junebug, how you doing? It's good to see you. Nope. Bad timing. Yeah, the recharge version of this is hands down one of the best games of the recharge. There we go. We hit the Spyro. That's like, I think you're the one that said it, Jeff. It's like, yeah, it's different, but there's enough to it that you know it's Yar's Revenge. I mean, Yar's. Yeah, Yar's Revenge. But yeah, it's a great game. Oh, that was horrible. Hey, Junebug. Yeah, well, YouTube sometimes. I'll probably hit it a couple more times and I'll be done, because even though I was slow to start off, once you get in the groove, you can go on Yars for a long time. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, I guess we ain't going to go forever because I forgot I did get a couple whack there at the beginning. All right, so we got that. Yars' Revenge. I think that's it on this. Yeah, this is a 10-1 that comes with the Atari 26 Plus. It has Adventure, Combat, Dodge 'em, Haunted House, Maze Craze, Missile Command, Real Sports Volleyball, Surround, Video Pinball, and Yars. And like I said, Adventure is one of my favorites. Haunted House, Missile Command, Yars' Revenge. Rest of them, they're okay. No, I would never block you out, Junebug. All right, then another one that I loved playing, another arcade game. I was happy when it came out. Is Defender. Again, you know, it's the Atari 2600 that they weren't able to match up to the Defender. You know, Defender was a good looking arcade game. But I thought they did an admirable job to make it seem like the game. And it, you know, and plus I think we talked about before was, you know, there were 7 buttons on this damn game. Which at that time, you know, was quite a bit. And but they were able to have all the functions that the game had on the joystick just by using techniques on it, and also how you moved on the screen. So, but you know, of course, this isn't as difficult as the arcade game was. I mean, it didn't take me long to get wasted in the arcade game at all. This game was hard as hell. But I think I mentioned before too was the sequel to this game was Stargate, and now that graphically was way better than this was. Oh, I missed him. He got squished. Better dead than red. That's what I say, though. All right. Yeah, see now how I moved all the way up to the screen there, I used one of my smart bombs. Or did I teleport? I can't remember which one it does. Might have teleported. Warped, I think is what they called it on Defender. All right. Now, if you heard that, he grabbed the little duder. I didn't save the little guy. And what happened was he was turned into a mutant. Oh. And there you go. Game over. Just like that. Yeah, it is a better game, Jeff. By far. All right. Next game that I got was another arcade game. And I loved this game. This is a good game too. Is Centipede. Is it look like the arcade? That does. Yeah, you can tell it says Centipede. The title screen's pretty good. When you play it, yeah, I mean, you know it's Centipede, but It's not even close to being accurate to the arcade whatsoever. But the gameplay is arcade-like. And that was the main thing back then was, did it play like the arcade game? Which it did. Because like I said, if you had a 2600, you knew the limitations of it. Or you was just kidding yourself. Oh. Should have paid more attention to that guy there at the bottom. Yeah. Yep, that's the main thing, Jeff, like you said. Looks bad, plays great. And like you said, at that time, we just wanted something to be similar to what we played in the arcade. You know, the main thing was just to have fun. If it was fun to play, then the looks didn't really matter that much. Back in that time though, there was no competition. I mean, there was in television. But television wasn't, getting Atari arcade games, of course. So that's what we were more worried about was, just getting good games for the Atari system because we weren't going to get it over on the television. And then, nothing like until the ColecoVision came out, and then they started having good arcade games. That's why. If you look at the tagline of ColecoVision at that time or whatever, bringing the arcade home and all that stuff, that they knew what was going to make them money was gamers wanted arcade games. We wanted arcade games at home. And until the ColecoVision came out, there was just Atari bringing arcade games home. Television had Burger Time or was it Bump and Jump? I think wasn't that an arcade game? But Burger Time was not a well sought out or desired game at the time. It was fun. It's a good game. I like playing Burger Time. But I wasn't breaking down the doors looking for Burger Time. What I wanted was Asteroid, Centipede, Missile Command, Gravatar, Lunar Lander, Black Widow, things of that nature. Then we got into wanting Space Invaders, Pac-Man, them type of games, and also Atari was getting them as well. I think somebody said it best where they said the television was for what people were looking for. It was sports. And people that wanted an Atari was looking for arcade games. And I didn't get into sports games until later. Especially the Dreamcast was one of the first ones I really got into sports, playing football and basketball and that. And NES too. I liked Temco. their football. I can't remember the name of it right now. Temco Bowl. But yeah, so yeah, sports games were never a big driving force for me though. But yeah, there are sports games I really like. Madden. I did like some of the Madden games. Woo! That centipede comes running across her, or whatever he is. Centipede, or not a centipede, but is that a scorpion? I don't know what the hell that bug is that run across there. That's another game I need to pick up. I haven't got yet is Millipede. Millipede was like in the arcade. Millipede was okay, but I wasn't that giant of a fan of it. But man, I love Millipede on the 2600. Oop, there we go. Yeah, see, even you look at this game, the scoring system on it, more than the Space Invaders was, but it's still not gigantic scorer. Uh-oh. Damn it, I wasn't able to kill him. right, there we go. What do we have? 83. So, what time is it? We're getting late. I was only wanting to really go for an hour. Let's play some of these, but there's a couple ones, other ones I liked. The Miss Pac-Man. Dig Dug is one I always like too. The 2600 version. This doesn't have a title on it, but it's a Parker Brother, which is Frogger, which is a good one I always like too. So, anyways, I thought, like I said, there's these some of my favorite ones. Games I still play this day. Once in a while I like putting them in. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to, leave a comment. Tell me what some of your favorite games are. If you agree with me on some of them, or you got your own that are your favorites. Because everybody's different. So I don't think on your favorites there's a wrong or a right answer. It's just whatever you feel. So hey, you do you, what you play and you like, do that. But don't ever hate on anybody for their different choices. So. Anyways, I hope you all have a good evening. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and you enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving. And I'll be on again sometime. Either I don't know if I'll be on Friday or on the weekend sometime. I'm thinking of maybe doing. You're welcome, Jeff. I appreciate you coming in here as always. You too, Junebug. I was thinking of maybe might do one of the mini consoles, so that could be either the TurboGrafx, or I have the NES and the Super NES. It could be either one of them, or who knows? Just whatever I feel like. And also too, I keep forgetting I do have the Atari 50th collection. That might be an interesting to do one too, because there's a whole gambit of games we can do on there: arcade and 2600, 5200, 7800, the Jaguar, the Lynx. So there's all kinds of choices there. So, anyways, I'll see you guys sometime during the weekend, and I hope you all have a good evening. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll talk to you all later.